So you want to start your own supplement company. You want to make some kind of pre-workout, protein powder, or maybe you want to just make pro hormones to send to people. Honestly, it all depends on what your goal is. You don't have to start with anything specific, but the first thing I highly recommend is that you create an LLC. Because if someone takes this stuff and they're not supposed to, and they have an adverse effect and they go to the hospital, they're going to end up suing you and they're going to come after your personal assets. So an LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. So this basically just protects you. You may also want to get insurance. That way, if something does happen, it's not going to ruin your business either. After you create your LLC and get insurance, you potentially want to find a manufacturer because you don't want to make this stuff yourself. You want to make sure that it's getting third-party tested. You want it to be tested and made in an FDA-approved lab. So what I did was I did my little Google research and looked on the internet for who can make pre-workout because that's what I want to start with. So I found NutriCap. So I'm going to talk about my experience with them and why I switched manufacturers. So there are plenty of manufacturers out there. You don't have to go with these two specifically. But with NutriCap, I created the original hybrid pre-workout. Everything was great. I went with a very simple formula. As you can see there, there's only 7 ingredients. Now, this guy was amazing, tasted amazing, and they did great my first run. So then my second run, I placed the order and they took my money, but they didn't push the order out. They didn't process it. They told me, hey, it's gonna take 10, 12 weeks and we're gonna give you your stuff. 10 weeks passed with very little communication. I finally said, hey, what's the ETA for this stuff? And they basically said, oh, crap. We forgot to go ahead and push this order. So I was out of stock for a while. So therefore I was essentially losing money. Thankfully, I had a full-time job I don't depend on my supplement company right now. So that was very fortunate. This is just a little side hustle. I do plan on making it my full-time gig eventually, but for now, just a little side thing. Anyhow, kind of pissed me off because I wasn't making any business. I did run a pre-sale at the time, so therefore everyone that was placing an order for the stuff that was coming was bringing in a little bit of money and I gave them a bit of a discount, stuff like that. But anyway, I ended up switching manufacturers for this reason. So I went with NutriSky next and I placed an order with them. So everything was great except for I had to find my own graphic artist. And a graphic artist is $150 per hour. So I thought that this was pretty crazy. So I went on Canva and I actually did this design myself, as you can see here. So it is like a griffin and then there's the label. So the nutrient facts here are actually a little different on the official label, but I did all of this myself. It did take some time, however, it's better than paying $150 for somebody. So I did that, and then I had to get the labels printed from a third-party company. I got the labels printed and shipped to NutriSky, and they essentially did the rest. Now, going back to NutriCap, I paid $400 for this design here, and then I think I paid an additional amount of money for the labels, but the labels the second time around were $700 for 250 tubs, which is a bit pricey. It was like $2 a label. But anyway, I also want to talk about pricing of the pre-workout here. So with NutriCap, I only ordered 144 and they were almost $20 a tub. And then with NutriSky, I ordered 250 and they were $17.50 a tub. Now, these also have almost 20 ingredients in them compared to the first batch that only had 7. So when you look at manufacturers, you also want to look at prices and how much they're charging for the quantity. Now, when you buy in bulk, if you buy 5,000 of them, I could have got them down to almost $12 a tub for this little guy here. But I didn't have that money at the time, so therefore I had to buy a smaller quantity. But that's why companies like Bucked Up, Alpha Lion, Raw, Rise are buying these things so cheap and then selling it to you for $50. They're making a huge profit margin. I'm not making that. Like I said, this isn't my full-time gig. Eventually I'd like to do this, but I'd also have employees to pay. I have a bunch of other stuff that I gotta pay that you don't actually see. So right now I sell my stuff for $40, which is a bargain. However, I don't want to be the low guy on the totem pole because then I'm not going to make any money. So I also had to set up a website. So if you want to sell this stuff, you got to create a website. So what I did was I created my LLC, got insurance, I found a manufacturer, get all this stuff done, and then I went ahead and I essentially created the website so I could sell to you guys. And then I started marketing. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit here. So marketing. Marketing is probably the hardest part of all of this. So I already had a pretty big TikTok following as well as YouTube and Instagram. And I thought people were just going to buy it up, because they follow me, they like me, they're going to listen to me. Well, I was wrong. I mean, a few of the people did, but essentially not everyone wanted to buy. I do think a part of it was the original ingredient list was kind of subpar. And then if you look at the label here, it was kind of bland. It didn't stick out. So if you look at Ghost, Alpha Lion, any of that stuff, you look at their labels and it attracts people. They have bright colors, they have crazy fonts, all that good stuff. That's why with the second version here, I went with a griffin on the front, and then I put the flavor and color, but still it's not crazy. However, it does kind of catch your attention a little more than the original one. But essentially I just had to reach out to people. I had to say, hey man, I started a supplement company, do you want to be a part of it? I can offer you a piece of commission. Kind of got like affiliates, if that makes sense. I can make a whole nother video talking about marketing and stuff like that if you guys are really interested. Let me know in the comments. But anyway, that was probably the hardest part, is actually getting this stuff out there. So people say, run ads, run ads. Well, ads are very tricky because I did run ads recently, and I mean, they're doing okay. I mean, they're paying for themselves, but I'm not making a whole lot of money off of it, if that makes sense. Now, I am running a crazy good deal with it as well, because you look at tons of ads on Facebook for tons of different pre-workouts. Which one is going to stick out to you? Do you want to save money, or is it just something that's cool? So marketing is super hard, but like I said, if you guys want to know more about it, contact me on any social media platform, or if you want to make another video, go ahead and put in the comments and we can chat there too. But anyway, just to sum everything up, what I did was LLC, protect yourself. Then I found a manufacturer. You want to find someone who's FDA approved, and it's going to be third-party tested, because there's a whole lot of stuff that needs to be verified in case you do get sued. You can say, hey, this stuff was tested, came with a warning label, all that good stuff. I'm not going to get in trouble. Well, at least we hope not anyway. But anyway, found the manufacturer, created the website, and then we decided to market, to sell to people. So that's essentially all you guys need to do. Nothing crazy. Now I will say, you need a lot of money up front. That was the biggest thing. I do have a whole nother YouTube video talking about how much I paid for everything, because you don't just buy the website and buy the stuff. You gotta buy a printer, packaging, if you're gonna run the ads, and then if you're gonna buy all these other stuff for marketing, everything adds up. And I know that I've spent tons of money on different things, and maybe I didn't get the best return on investment, but I'm learning. I love watching other YouTube videos about what people are doing for their business. I love reading, love listening to podcasts, and that's something I strongly suggest for you, is listen to some of these gurus on business, the people who have already made it, not people who are just out there not doing anything. So I don't want to say me, but I mean, I'm right in the middle of it right now, so I would be a great person to follow. That way you can see exactly what's working, what's not working. But anyway, hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, let me know.